Hola estudiantes, bienvenidos y en este video vamos a aprender sobre los verbos que terminan en AR. That was a mouthful, but in other words, we're learning about verbs that end in AR. Now there are two other kinds of verbs. We learn about ER verbs and IR verbs in the next unit. Right now we're just keeping it simple. We're just going to talk about verbs that end in an AR. All right, here we go. So first we have contestar, which is to answer, right? So for example, contestar una pregunta, to answer a question. Deletrear, this one is kind of hard to pronounce, but think deletrear, which is to spell. Okay. And then we have ayudar, which is to help. Dejar, which you can use this as like, oh, yo dejo mi mochila en la taquilla. I leave my backpack in the locker. Or me dejo de la escuela. I leave school. So you can use leave in two ways. You yourself are leaving a place, or like you leave an item, or like leave me alone, right? So this is kind of like a leave that is used in a lot of different contexts. Enseñar, which is to teach. That's what I do in this video. And entrar is to enter. I kind of tried to make these go alphabetical, so it might kind of seem all over the place. Escuchar, which is to listen. Also what you're doing in this video. Estudiar, which is to study, what you're going to do after this video. Hablar, which is to talk. That's what I'm doing right now. Right? So like, yo hablo español. All right. Llamar, which is to call. So like, if I was going to say, I call my mom, llamo a mi mamá. So you normally have llamar, and then what we put after it when you're calling a person, llamar a, and then the person. So just keep that in mind for when you write this. It'll be llamar, and we'll learn how to change llamar to make it so you are doing the calling. But you always use that verb, and then you put an a after to say that you're calling a person. So like, I call to a person. Okay. Llegar, which is to arrive, what you guys all did when you came to school today. Necesitar, which is to need. Sacar una buena nota. You guys are all going to do on this slide deck, right? Get a good grade. And then sacar una mala nota. What you'll do if you don't complete this slide deck, get a bad grade. Tomar apuntes is to take notes. What you guys should all be doing while you're watching this video. And then usar la computadora. What you guys are all doing now. See how all of these verbs relate to school? That's so crazy, right? It's like I did this on purpose. Okay. So that's usar la computadora. Now, usar is just to use, right? So maybe I say usar una pluma or un bolígrafo. You can say usar las tijeras, right? I use, or, to use scissors, to use scissors, to use a pen. Usar el teléfono, to use the phone, right? So you can use many things. You just take out la computadora and insert it with whatever item you are using. Preguntar is to ask. Practicar is to practice. Now this can relate to sports, it can relate to academic content, whatever you want to practice. And this one should be pretty easy to remember, right? Because it looks just like how practice does. And then trabajar, which is to work. So when somebody is trabajador or trabajadora, like how we learned previously, that is hardworking, right? So trabajar is just the action word for that. So to work. Okay, I know that was a lot of vocab to hit you with. That is all that I have for now. And so go ahead, do some practice today, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios.